Hello and welcome to iGCSE Success. And if you're new here, a big hello to you. I'm an English teacher and I post content here on YouTube to prepare students for their Cambridge First Language English exam. And if that's what you're looking for, be sure to check out my other videos where I break down a number of core skills needed to succeed with First Language English. So yesterday I gave you my 5 top tips to ensure you succeed with the writer's effect question, and today it's all about that directed writing question, which I think is probably the hardest question on the paper. And remember, this non-fiction task is worth a massive 25 marks, so it's really important you get it right. And before I start, I've had a few questions regarding the terminology I have been using. I've always known this question to be the directed writing question. It was the directed writing question up until maybe 2019. Maybe it still is, I'm not sure, I need to double check. I've seen some teachers referring to it as the extended writing response. Teachers may refer to it as the non-fiction task. And I guess the confusion kind of comes from the fact that there are 2 papers. Now, if you are doing the coursework component like most of my students are, they do coursework and paper 1. That's 100% of their grade. If you are not doing the coursework component, then you do paper 1 and paper 2. And paper 2, there of course is a directed writing task, and it is called the directed writing task. I'm confusing myself. Let's just get on with today's 5 top tips. Now, tip number 1 is to practice non-fiction writing. Okay, so ask yourself, can you write a letter, speech, article, newspaper report, formal report, dialogue? Okay, when you are confident that you can write in those different styles, then attempt, or at least start thinking about attempting an exam styled question. Now, tip number 2 is make sure you know the typical features associated with each given text type. So for example, do you know that newspapers feature both direct speech and reported speech? Do you know the text types which make use of persuasive language? Do you know those text types which you are required to adopt a far more formal register, for example? Now, number 3 is really important. Quite often Cambridge asks you to imagine being a particular character in the text. So in other words, you have to assume the role of a particular character. Of course, in order to do that successfully, you really have to understand how the writer is trying to present the character. So is the character sarcastic, bitter, humorous, woefully pessimistic? It's so important that you understand the character well, because it will affect your language, your tone, any stylistic devices you choose to use in your piece. Now, my 4th tip is ensuring that you address all 3 bullet points you are given. You want to end up with 3 paragraphs of equal length, and you should have about 5 ideas from the text in each paragraph. Remember, there are 15 marks allocated to reading. Number 5 is understanding the difference between explicit ideas and implicit ideas, and I have done a video on this, so be sure to check it out. Essentially, the process for this question is trying to get 5 ideas from the text for each paragraph. You then need to reword those quotations and you need to develop. Okay, so you need to make suitable inferences. So there's a lot that goes into this question if you're aiming for those top marks. And honestly, I could go on and on and on. It really is just a matter of knowing the correct approach to this question and then practice. That's all from me today, guys. Again, please do check out my previous videos. There's plenty of model responses and walkthroughs for the directed writing question in particular. And of course, if you are struggling with this question or anything to do with First Language English, please do just drop me a comment and I will get back to you ASAP. Next week, I will be looking specifically at non-fiction writing, and hopefully these videos will help with the directed writing question. Until next time, bye bye.